I and a couple others would go down the path of, right? That there's something else going on. He also, we would disagree on race and kind of the racial connection of let's just call it the Jewish group or empire or people. But yeah, when it comes to 9/11, to that question that was asked, I do think the truth is going to come out around that day, that event. Obviously, it was an atrocity. I do think Building 7 was clearly controlled demolition based on what I've seen, based on the evidence, the support. The idea that there were...
Ian. He admitted it. He said he could pull it, right?
The pull it quote, and Ryan again can share the context around that. I think perhaps based on at least what I've heard from him and a little bit of research on that specific quote, I don't think that one's necessarily relevant, but the video footage certainly looks beyond funny. The idea that it was a building fire that was a consequence of some of the adjacent rubble from the other two towers, it just seems really unbelievably difficult to believe that, especially given all the other things that we know. And you can go down the different explosives in the building. We can go through the team of art students and all the other pieces of the puzzle, right? But the thing that we know with absolute certainty at this point is that something was off. The official narrative makes virtually no sense. If you want to buy into that, subscribe to the fact that somebody just happened to find a passport from one of the pilots at the base of the rubble. Try to imagine that. Two giant buildings have collapsed, and this guy just happens to show up, and he looks down, and he's like, oh, look at this and amongst all the rubble, all the things, the broken bodies, right, that you would probably presume were there, along with all the other nonsense and chaos and fire. And he's just like, oh, a passport. Curious. Let's see who that belongs to. I guess the guy just, flying the plane, he just rolled down the window with one of those crank handles on a 1980s vehicle before throwing it out of the driver's seat of the plane, right? It's crazy to believe that. You can also go down all the other elements that are super suspect. The fact that if I'm not mistaken, it was the New York, I don't want to say the chief of police, maybe it was the Harbor Police or something, but the guy who went to Israel 2 or 3 weeks prior to 9/11, he got a $250,000 grant that was never repaid. There's all these different pieces of the puzzle. We were lied to. I believe it was Israel. I think Building 7 was certainly controlled demolition. I think people are starting to notice the patterns, and the scariest piece of all of it is that the clean break memo, it basically foreshadowed 20 years of conflict that was fought for and paid for by the American people for no benefit of Americans, for what it's worth. And some clown put up the other day a comment saying that the U.S. funding and support of Israel is measly. It's only a ... I went back and I challenge anybody to go do this. Go ask Grok the total expenditures of the U.S. government over the last 20 years. It gave me $70 trillion. Then ask how much of that was spent fighting wars and supporting, via donations and other endeavors, the Middle Eastern effort. It gave me a number that basically said 12% of all federal expenses over the last 20 years have been to the benefit of, let's just call it, the Middle East. And who is it benefiting? It's not Iran. It's not Egypt, although you can say that they get something. It's for the Greater Israel Project. And so I bring that up and I round that out just to say that 9/11, I believe, was a false flag attack that was staged by a cabal that is largely fighting for the interests of global Jewish whatever and for Israel, and that the United States has basically gone broke. It's been completely demoralized. It has lost its standing in the world. It has become an embarrassment on the global stage. And all at the expense at the end of the day, not just of the present that we all live in, but a future where the U.S. no longer can be Team America World Police, like that funny movie by the South Park creators who, oh, by the way, yes, they're Jewish. And in the Book of Mormon, which they also produced, it has a song that is literally F you God, for what it's worth, to just round this whole thing out. That's where we are. 30 or 40 years ago, the United States was largely a rather homogenous, white, largely Christian nation where things worked pretty well. And today you have individuals celebrating materialism, vanity, hedonism, and going out on Broadway so they can watch a show where F you God is the laugh of the town. That's where we are. we essentially quasi-live in hell. But we are going to live in heaven once we're able to get rid of whatever this entity is, whether you want to prescribe it to a religion or to a nation state or a race of people, whatever. We're going to make the world better. We're going to go back to something a little bit healthier, a little bit more traditional. And in doing so, we'll basically get to an economic, a spiritual, a physical, and a financial set of calories and protein that is healthy for everybody rather than the junk food that is basically the McDonald's that we eat, the McDonald's that we consume via Netflix and YouTube and all the other garbage that's fed to everybody that demoralizes you. It makes you fat, lethargic, unhealthy, stressed, anxious, and you then satisfy those problems with SSRIs, alcohol, drugs, whether legal or otherwise, and everybody just endures another day of this. It's going to come to an end. We're going to go back to meat and potatoes, both spiritually, physically, and nutritionally. And in doing so, we will get rid of the sick empire that brought 9/11 that, yes, I do believe is ultimately going to come out. And as it does, we'll all move away from the junk food society that we've been living in my opinion anyway, largely because of the same set of interests that blew up those buildings.
No, Ian, I think you're 100% right. And it's getting put out there at a level that we've never seen before. You know, like Sean Ryan, for example, right? Like, I think over the last 2 years, like, where the fuck did Sean Ryan come from? How did this guy get this military, right? Candace is talking about the military. Sean Ryan's another one. So Sean Ryan is continuing to platform Sarah Adams, right? So Sarah Adams is like this fat slob chick. She's the one who tried to tell you. She went on the Sean Ryan podcast telling us about how Al-Qaeda is in our country. Like, bitch, no fucking shit, dude. They opened our fucking border. Why the fuck wouldn't Al-Qaeda be here? Everybody's fucking here, including Al-Qaeda, right? Like, you're not breaking any news, sweetheart. She's this fat, ugly, like, she's not a honeypot. She couldn't be a honeypot. Like, this is the only chick that you're like, yep, she definitely is not a fucking honeypot. It's not fucking possible. This fucking Logan over here. Like, so now she's over again. So she came out there and tried to tell you that if you believe that Building 7, right, was a terrorist attack, or if you question Building 7 collapsing, you're actually helping Al-Qaeda because Al-Qaeda knows that, and they're going to use that to basically radicalize people in our own country to try to turn them against the government. Because if you question Building 7 collapsing, you're actually helping Al-Qaeda, right? That's what she went on the Sean Ryan podcast and said. And then today she's back again, and it says Hamas is refusing to disarm. They are blaming people for being spies, burning down homes, and we've seen the public executions, right? So she's going on about these public executions and the fucking, like, the spies. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, really, bitch, who the fuck is this girl? She's some fat white chick. And what? She's like, where does she get her intel from? Like, she's not in the CIA anymore. She's not leaving the country. So does she have, like, what, ground sources over there? This fat bitch is this one that's like, I don't know. I just feel like she's just constantly shilling shit for Israel and trying to lay the groundwork for whatever fucking false flag narrative is coming next, which I feel like is coming, and I just want to kind of keep warning people about that. But I'll quit yapping. I'll jump over to you. Who we got up here? We got Paul. Go ahead, Paul.
Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate the space and everybody's energy and perspectives. I've been doing this a long time, so it's great to see people engaging like this. It really is. I wanted to mention one thing that Candace said, that she kind of really breezed through it, that if you don't listen for it, you'll miss it. And she referenced the security team not applying first aid to Charlie. And she mentioned, I think she said that she could see that they weren't doing anything meaningful for him. And so it's really interesting to watch today's episode and see how she just kind of slipped that in there and moved on. So, you know, for what it's worth, I just wanted to point that out. I thought that was a major revelation that I had not heard up to this point, that deserved more sort of attention than it got. But the other thing I wanted to mention is, and I had kind of a back and forth with Sam today online. I was kind of hoping he'd be back by now because I'd like him to hear my sort of counter to what he was saying about the exploding mic theory. And I won't, dwell on it too long, but I just think that that particular theory has a lot of meat to it for a lot of different reasons, and I really don't think we can dismiss it as quickly as Sam has, because we don't have an autopsy report, which is the only way to really confirm.
God will test you.
Why do you post it every day?
Tell it when I have a cycle, unfolding soul of health.
Whoever was recording
Say,
sound
he will say to the...
off of that mic,
Remember, you're listening.
was it the videographer that was standing right in front of him, or presumably
Why do you still post if you can't get more than 5 likes?
Look, if 5 people like my video, that's 5 people I made smile. Maybe it's just 5 likes to you. But to me, that's 5 reasons I'm not feeling.
Audio from it.
Why do you post it?
I wanted to mention also that, if there was an explosion
Best thing I ever did was stop telling everyone what's going on in my life. We've all fallen before. Most Americans don't know that.
speakers
How much was it?
through the handheld
How
mic
much
that Charlie was holding, and also
So you're not going to tell me how much was...
was being used to ask questions. And so, a lot of the talk about, where did the sound come from, aside from the reverberations off of the buildings and all that, the speakers probably
How much was it?
contributed to the confusion. If you were further away from the explosion than the speakers were. And so, anyway, for what it's worth, I wanted to throw those things out there and to point out that there's so much circumstantial evidence that supports the exploding lav mic theory that I really do think, and it speaks to what Ian was saying, the cult of personality. I really respect Sam. I love his presentation, and I don't want to, cast any shade on him because he works hard, and I think he's tremendously intelligent and perceptive. But in this case, I disagree with him, and I just wanted to put that out there and keep that theory alive until there's something else more than Sam. Sam, I see him now. What I miss? No, I just the devil himself here. Nothing important, right? Okay, I'm out. I heard when he just got in. I have no idea what was. I heard my name as I got
talking about I let him say if he was talking about the exploding mic, so I just let him go. I don't feel like going down that rabbit hole again. But yeah, no, Sam's doing the best work on the exploding mic theory, and I was the one who jumped up there with Blake Bednar's day one and broke that story. So it was like,
look, I was
all about it, dude.
I've been open to it. I've been way open to it, but I just, we don't have time to get into it now, but it's just, I don't think it holds water anymore. It doesn't. Well, I posted screenshots from different angles that showed the same thing at the same time. So, for what it's worth.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it, brother.
Thanks.
All right, let's jump over to the next hand, which is Saint Dirty Donnelly. Jump up on me.
Quite a name, Saint Dirty.
Saint Dirty, you with us? Going once. She gone. All right, let's go to Mr. Poe Quito.
Hi, that would be Poquito Retardito.
I apologize.
No, Ryan.
That means little genius in Mexican. That means little genius in Mexican, right?
I think so, but I wouldn't know because I'm Poquito Retardito, so I'm just a little retarded. All right. I just wanted to let you know, Ryan, that I sent you a video, it was a TikTok I just saw tonight, and it's about 10 seconds long. And so I recorded it and sent it. I put it on here in the comments, and I sent it to you, private message. And I'm just trying to get it out there because it shows a bullet coming between his knees up from the ground, and you can see it hit the t-shirt and blow off the necklace and go up into his neck. And so I know the trap door is to the left of him. I saw your old post on that, but someone could have gone down the trap door and put something like made a place to where they could, like dug a hole or position something there where they could shoot Charlie from underground. Because one of the first things Candace...
Well, they wouldn't need to do that, though. They have drones that are the size, literally the size of like a thing that sits in your palm. They could easily phone a drone, and they had the little drone the size of a fucking quarter, put a bullet through his head from anywhere at any point, so...
Well, look at the video. It actually shows the bullet hitting the t-shirt.
You can't film that. You're saying, look at a video that's filming at 30 frames per second. Okay, let's just do the simple math on that. If you're filming at 30 frames per second and a rifle shooting at 15 feet per second, that means that in a single frame, like you have 30 frames in a photo, 30 frames per second, right? That's what almost every camera's filming at. In that individual frame, right, if you are moving one frame by frame, that's 1/30th of a second. In 1/30th of a second, a bullet is going to move 45 feet, traveling at 1,500 feet per second. Let's go. Okay. Say the handgun is 1,700 or 700 feet per second. Then you go, okay, well, so then now you're 25 feet of movement. Do you understand where I'm going with this one? Like,
do you think people are making up videos and putting bullets in them just to fool people?
It's not bullets. You're like, oh, it'll be like, I'm seeing 2 frames, and like you can't stop a bullet in a frame. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it is mathematically impossible.
Well,
Like look at the Trump shooting, right? That person who took the magic bullet of Trump when Trump got shot, right? And you see it, it's a streak, right?
Yeah,
that guy's camera settings were shooting at like 128 thousandths of a second. So that would be like shooting at 128,000 frames per second. Right? That's how fast the shutter speed. I've been down that rabbit hole. I've seen them all.
Already?
Yeah, so I'm just telling you, it's not possible to film a bullet traveling at, you just can't. It's just not feasibly possible. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's too bad because it looks like something. But all right.
All right, thanks. All right, who's up next? We got
Hands up here.
Blake. I'll throw Rolla and Blake.
I'll be really quick. So thanks for the mic, Ryan. Your space is great. I'm usually in the listeners. Don't like to come up, but there's something I wanted to, because there's so many truth tellers here. Just wanted to throw something out there. So I think it was yesterday, Gob Troy had a space on 3i Atlas. If you want, I can share that space. I recommend everyone to listen to it if you listen. But there was something that was mentioned, and it got me curious. So I did some research, and it big tech CTOs or chief product officers that were directly commissioned as a lieutenant colonel in our U.S. Army Reserves. So that is really strange. I wonder if you guys have something on it. So one was Shyam Sankar, he's CTO of Palantir. Then there's Andrew Bosworth, he's CTO of Meta Platforms. And then Kevin Weave, Chief Product Officer at OpenAI. And then Bob McGraw, he was former Chief Research Officer at OpenAI, and then later he was advisor at Thinking Machines Lab. So they were all 4 of them were made lieutenant colonel, which is really weird. And so Godfrey was mainly talking about how they're gonna bring in like control and everything through the force, the army and everything. So what do you guys think? Curious.
Want to take that one?
Sam.
Oh, I didn't hear. What now? Sorry, somebody was calling me on the other line just then. What?
Okay, so I
guess what he said.
there was 4 CTOs or chief product officers of like technology companies like big tech, and so CTO of Palantir, CTO of Meta Platform, of OpenAI, and Thinking Machine Labs. They were made directly their commission as lieutenant colonel in U.S. Army Reserve. So just curious, what do you guys?
Yeah, I saw that. I don't like it at all, to be honest. They're more openly and overtly militarizing the social media platforms. This is a theme that we've talked about in the past on this space. Twitter is not the free speech, open communication, innocent, free speech platform that you think it is. It's a militarized intelligence operation that many people are taking advantage of and utilizing, and that's just under the surface on that. So just to be quick and brief, yeah, it's troubling, and I don't like it at all.
Blake, jump on here, brother.
What's up, everyone? All right, so first off, I posted something, a couple things, but one thing in particular, down in the chat, it is the trapdoor. Stop talking about it. It's not even in line with where Charlie, it is around the table, and it's right in front of a fuck ton of people. Stop talking about the trapdoor, okay? Look at the chat right now, and just look for yourself at how fucking impossible what you're thinking or describing. Like, walk through that, okay? That is a screenshot of a video that was taken by Christian Overton, who was right there on the front row with his son. The fucking trapdoor was right there. Nobody went down the trapdoor. The trapdoor didn't fucking move. It's impossible. Stop talking about the fucking trapdoor, please.
Thank you, Blake. I put that up in the nest for everybody, in case you have trouble finding it. It's just insane, and I'm sorry, we do have to be honest about some of these theories. We entertained some of them for a while we're collecting data, but now we're triaging and sifting through the data, and we're getting rid of the stuff that doesn't work. That's what we're doing, right? We're trying to narrow our focus and focus our resources, and we're not stopping it. If you want to keep going after the trapdoor, have at it. Like, I agree with Blake.
Just start your own space. Just start your own trapdoor space, and don't come on here and crush the vibe. Okay, second thing, and Sam, dude, I love you, dog, but I'm gonna do a minor dissent, okay? And Ryan, don't hate. Okay, so it's not necessarily the lava mic. Okay, I am on the necklace. Okay, and let me just explain a little bit of a backstory to it, okay? And my one only dissension from Sam's wonderfully put together video, it is the fact that the shirt and necklace are moving in multiple frames with the absence of a wound until the shirt comes down and the wound appears. That does not make a bit of sense on any sort of level, and I have tested this out this past weekend with a few of my buddies, one of them of which went to the same sniper school that Gary went to, okay? And I'm telling you right now that the absence of a wound in all of those videos prior to the necklace and shirt jumping off his body is impossible, okay? And I understand there might be a question of different frame rates or whatnot, but in every single demonstration on a cavitation illustration, there is a blowback of the skin, whether it's a gel block, a piece of meat, whatever it is. You don't have the neck or whatever you're shooting at completely untouched, but everything else around it move. That's impossible. And we tested this out. We're making a video, and I'm telling you, I'm going to go even harder. I just wanted to see if it was going to be worth my time in looking at, because I've been talking to Gary Melton about it, and I don't know what his time frame is on it. Well, I got moving real quick on it, and I just happened to be out in BFE over the weekend in Colorado, and so we tested it out, okay? And it was absolutely shocking, okay? So with that, Ryan, with your blessing, I would like to play just a 1-minute video of the pastor Frank Turek with an interview. And everyone, I want you to listen to exactly what he is describing to Megyn Kelly. And Megyn Kelly, this expert litigator, lawyer, interviewer, did not think to push back on this. Please listen to this.
They roped off the vehicle that we took out of there as a crime scene. I don't know why. It wasn't part of the crime scene, really. So we couldn't get into the vehicle until the FBI cleared it. And it happened that Charlie, in the back seat below him, between these 2 bucket seats, was my computer bag. So everything, I couldn't go anywhere. My wallet was in there. I wasn't going anywhere anyway, but I had to go to get that out. And so when they finally cleared it, I got into the car and I pulled out my bag, and draped over my bag was Charlie's necklace that had a cross and medallions on it. And I had heard they were looking for that. And so the cop was like, "Oh, we've been looking for that." I said, "I got it." So I just took it. I don't understand this. I saw the necklace.
Okay, does anybody want to take a stab at the fucking massive problem?
Yeah, I will, Blake. I will. And I'm glad that you brought this up. This is actually a great that Blake has just brought up many, many important points, some of which I wanted to bring up too, so I'm glad you brought them up. He talks about the medallions. And number one, there's a lot of problems. Like, why did the FBI find the necklace when they
FBI? What are they the top dog of law enforcement? They just fled the vehicle, and then all of a sudden, the necklace that exploded off his body is somehow in there. There's a reason that they keep talking about the fucking necklace, and it's because they want you to think it's still in existence, when in fact, I think it exploded.
Okay, well, let me address that. Like, you bringing up some really great things, and I don't have all the answers for this either, so let's explore it. So there are inconsistencies in the necklace story. Let's start at the beginning. Erica Kirk says that the medics ripped it from his body. Now, I'm not saying she lied about that. Obviously, she wasn't there, so whatever she's repeating, she's been told by somebody, right? So she says that the necklace was torn from his body by the medics when they were, tending to him. Of course, we can see from the video that that's not true. It's blown apart off of his body. That we can see that. That's number one. So that's not true. It's an inconsistency, let's call it. The next thing is this whole Frank Turek debacle, the FBI doing the vehicle, not finding the necklace, but then Frank Turek finds the necklace in the vehicle with medallions. Right? He says it's got medallions on it. Here's the problem. The necklace that Erica Kirk holds out her SUV that we're led to believe is the same necklace that Charlie was wearing doesn't have any medallions on it. That's number one. Number two, people have found old pictures of Charlie wearing a cross necklace, and it doesn't have any medallions. So we have several inconsistencies. We have Erica saying it was removed by the medics. That's not true. We have Frank Turek saying it has medallions. That doesn't seem to be true. Nobody's produced the actual an actual verified, this is the necklace with the medallions. There is no such picture or image in existence. The images we do have, there's 2 competing images. Neither have medallions. And then there's this whole odd, bizarre thing where the FBI sweeps the vehicle, doesn't find the necklace. Frank Turek finds it laying on top of the computer bag. How did it get in there? How did it get in the van after it's blown off of Charlie? Why are they saying these inconsistent details? So there is something there. I'm not sure what it means, Blake. Is it embellishment? Are they trying to create a feel-good story with the necklace? Is it just some sort of, like one of those little white lies to help people feel good about things? Maybe it's ultimately meaningless. Maybe it means something. But there is something weird going on with the necklace narrative. I completely admit that. There's something
It's a
weird.
subconscious psychological effect that they're trying to talk it into existence because it played such, and this is my opinion, okay? Like I said, I did just a minor dissent, that they're talking about it so often, and it's such a key part back in the early days because it was such a pivotal component. This was a subconscious psychological thing that they're doing. They're talking it into existence because they don't want anyone to focus in on the necklace. So the easiest thing to do and the thing to do is just start talking about it, that it's still in existence. It was found by Frank after the top dog law enforcement agency of the United States, the FBI, cleared the vehicle. And then Frank, investigator Frank finds it and hands it over to the police. Why they were looking for it? Why were they looking for it? I mean, what's the deal?
Why? There's a lot of oddity around it, but I do want to address your previous talking points about the entry wound, exit wound, the necklace, mechanics of the possible explosion. I want to address your talking points there. Number one, here's why I don't think that the necklace exploded. Because if the necklace exploded, it destroys the necklace. But we can clearly see that the swoop that goes up over his left shoulder, we can see clearly defined lines. That is because of the cross or the pendant is being pushed up into the shirt, pulled or pushed up into the shirt by the force, by a force, okay? Now, if that is what had exploded, it would have obliterated that and would not have maintained the structural integrity to create that upward swooping shape. That's number one. Number two, it would have created a singe or a hole or some sort of explosion under the shirt. That's not what happens. It merely stretches the fabric and then relaxes. So I don't think that there is an incendiary device there. It would have made a hole. It would have destroyed the structural integrity of the pendant. It would have been able to create that swoop that then dissipated. I don't think the mechanics were that.
So percussive charge. There's gonna be some stuff coming tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I look forward to that. So now that's number one. Number two, with respect to the entry wound or the wound appearing after the swoop, right? If you look at the video that I have access to, maybe there's high quality video that I haven't seen yet, but the video I've seen, his neck massively expands. It probably expands, maybe almost doubles in width, okay? Almost doubles in width. And the white t-shirt is drawn upwards, and his chin is kind of down, and his entire neck area is covered. Okay, it's entirely covered as that swoop goes up over the left shoulder. Then the t-shirt comes down, relaxes, then we see the wound. My point is we don't really get a good look at the neck before it gets covered over by the cavitation shockwave and the shirt. We don't get a good look at it before that. And what I would say is if you watch in slow motion, Charlie's eyes close and his face kind of grimaces and goes blank first. Then you see the chest expansion and the t-shirt cover his neck and his neck expand. Then you see it relax down, and then you see the bloody hole. And so what I submit is, I think it's just an artifact of frame rates and camera quality that you don't see an entry wound because it doesn't get captured because it gets covered up by the shirt and the shockwave expansion first. And then when it relaxes, then you can see it. But you can see Charlie's eyes close and his face slightly wince or grimace before that shockwave expands and covers the neck. And I think that's the moment when the bullet has gone through and knocked him out.
Fair enough, man. Hey, Sam, I appreciate that.
No, absolutely. But listen, I'm willing to be wrong, folks. I'm willing to be wrong, but I'm laying out why I don't think this is correct. Now, we
have a healthy marriage right here. We are talking, we're communicating healthily back and forth. This is what it's supposed to be about, not about just completely, going for, I don't want to say the neck, but just trying to kill the other opponent. That's not what this is about. But Ryan, last thing, and then I'm gonna say goodnight to everyone. Shinzo Abe, hot damn. That is wild, huh?
There's another parallel there, Blake, that Brian I didn't really bring out, but I don't blame you for this. The only other assassination, modern assassination, that parallels the Charlie Kirk assassination is the Shinzo Abe assassination. And what I mean by that is it was being live streamed to like hundreds of thousands or millions of people on the internet when he was giving that speech. And up until Charlie Kirk, that Shinzo Abe was the most public assassination in the history of the world. And so I think that he and Charlie Kirk kind of share something now, because Charlie's obviously worldwide mega platinum viral, right? And so they now are joined, they're joined at that, in that fashion too, being a 21st century assassination in front of the eyes of the world in real time.
Let me just throw it out there that you both could be right. If I was an intelligence agency, what would I do? I'd put Tyler Robinson up on the roof. I'd put a second shooter somewhere else. And backup number 3 is I'd put something small, explosive, not to kill him, but to throw him off balance, tackle him to the ground if the shot missed, and then put a bullet in him when he's on the ground. I don't think Charlie was going to have there.
Could be, like, obviously could be, and I agree, you want to have a fail-safe or a backup plan, but I'm just seeing no evidence of an explosion anywhere. Like, there's no shirt singeing anywhere, there's no holes. You know, there just isn't anything like that. And I hope that, you know,
I think it's a fair point that both sides can agree on, that even if the necklace did explode, or in a sense, we can still be looking for another guilty party. And that's going to the people that can't get past red color, can't get past the explosion. It could be something to throw them off balance, where they're going to tackle them on the ground and put a bullet in them as a backup. So we can still be looking for somebody else.
I do think it's helpful to keep going after the necklace, as we said. There's a lot of strange conflicting talking points about it. It is very weird when it brings up a lot of good points. And okay, maybe there was some sort of necklace explosion to create a distraction or something. It's sort of like oddly synchronized with the shot to the neck. Also, I don't think the necklace, if it did explode, could possibly be responsible for the cavitation shockwave that undulates through Charlie's body, works out his neck, down his back, up through his chest, and out and through his neck. It's far too expansive for an external percussive explosion to create that effect. Like, I think the only thing that can create that effect is like a higher energy round entering through his neck or somewhere in his upper torso, right? That creates that massive Stay Puft Marshmallow expansion, if you will. I'm not trying to be crass, I'm just trying to be descriptive for people, because that's what he looks like when he expands. He looks like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man for an instant. And the last thing I want to say about this is, remember, folks, this all happens in the matter of a few milliseconds. Now, a camera with a frame rate of 60 frames per second, that's about 17 milliseconds per frame. And this entire shockwave episode probably only lasted about between 10 and 20 milliseconds. So this is why we have a couple angles where we see like a couple views of the cavitation shockwave, because, you know, it was basically, it got caught on, like, this camera caught it on that frame and that camera caught it on another frame. And so we have like 2 or 3 frames of it. So it is kind of herky-jerky. It's hard to figure out. But even if the necklace is exploding, it can't create that overpressure expansion that we see that fills Charlie, right? It can't do that. So at best, it's a secondary device or some sort of the supplementary action to go along with the main event. If that makes sense. It would explain a shirt, though, wouldn't it? If the bull explains the body and the Well, I think the pendant obviously swings up under the shirt and is that swooping over the left shoulder fashion. That is absolutely the pendant doing that. I think that's the pendant doing that. I mean, nobody's been able to explain what else it could be. And in my video, if you watch, you can see the other side of the necklace whip around the right side of his head. It whips around, and then it falls down dangling with the other end still attached right underneath the shirt collar. And so I have interpreted that as it's acting as sort of like a grappling hook, right? It's this hanging between this cross, the end of it. It's caught inside the shirt, and the rest of the chain is dangling down. So that's another reason why I don't think it's exploded, because the chain doesn't actually fully leave Charlie's body. It's still caught in the shirt.
This is Canada, Congressman John Kitover.
And the pendant's still caught because the pendant hasn't been destroyed. Right? It hasn't been destroyed by an explosion or a blast. Right? That's how I see it. Could be wrong, but that's how I see it.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, let's tap in with John, and I think that's the last hand. Joe, I don't know if your hand was up or not.
Yeah, it's up, and I shared this video with Ryan like 3 days in, and he retweeted it about the back of the shirt. Because I don't know if Ryan, if you remember that you had retweeted it. Sam, I don't know if your theory is the bull came from the front or the back. Can you just clarify?
I have not taken a super hard position on that. I'm allowing that to play out, but I think there's no question that there is some sort of high velocity round that had to have entered him to create the Stay Puft effect, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm not taking a solid 100% position yet on the angle or site of entry. Or an exit on that. Yeah, I'm not taking a hard position. I suspect it did come from the front at an angle, at a downward angle. That's my suspicion, but I am not like forever married to that theory.
Because here's my theory, and I shared this with Ryan really early, like 3 days in, and then actually had a friend do a test to see if I was correct, because the necklace does fly off of it, but it flies off from the front to the back. Right?
It whips around. Yeah, the right side whips around, right?
Yeah, we did that several times to see what would happen. And it only happens if you shoot it from the back. That it like breaks and whips, because the chain would whip, right? And it whips upward and then over his head. Plus, if it came in from the front, there's no chain where his neck is hit, right? And then number 3 is, if you look at your ballistics gel video, right, where does it puff up? At the entry or at the exit? It puffs up at the exit. The back
right, and that's why his back is blown out, because that's like of course it doesn't exit, but that is where the exit would be.
Yeah, but the front of his neck is like blown up.
No, maybe you haven't seen the other angles, but we have some good shots that show his back expanding outwards and his chest expanding outwards and his neck expanding outwards. We have views of all 3 of those.
Yeah, the back of his shirt is the first thing to move, right?
That's right, and that's what jerks. That's what imparts a backwards force on the chain first.
Okay, could be. Okay, I'm not saying it's not. I believe it's the entry. Okay. Because the chain starts to whip. The chain starts to whip before you see the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man effect, right? And I believe you see the back puff up first, and then his neck.
Yes, I think that's roughly correct. But here, let me just explain the mechanics of how where I'm disagreeing with you.
Right.
Think about a toilet paper. Think about a toilet paper roll. You know how a toilet paper roll is big and heavy, and if you pull the toilet paper out slowly, it's fine. But if you go quickly, it tears away from. If you pull it quickly, it tears, right? And what happens is you have this pendant that's slightly heavier than the gold chain, okay? And when you have the overpressure that goes out his back, it's moving at 1,500 meters per second. That overpressure shockwave. It's moving at 1,500 meters per second, okay? And it jerks the chain violently and quickly backwards, but then in the course of 1 or 2 more milliseconds later, it's then moving. The shockwave is now moving forward into the front like a balloon, and it's imparting a forward force on the pendant and an upward force. So the junction between the pendant and the chain is subject to 2 opposite forces, one throwing the pendant forward and the other one jerking the chain backwards independently. And that creates a torque at the weak point where the chain meets the pendant, and that's where it tears away. And that's why you see the one side that tears away whip around his head, and the other side that tears away with the pendant whips up into the shirt. Like Newton's law, equal and opposite reactions. One side whips one way, and the other side of the pendant whips the other way.
But Sam, I want to just do a test with me, okay? Put one finger where his entry was on your neck, right? And put another finger where your necklace lies. And what does that angle look like to you?
I'm not sure what angle you're referring to.
It can't be from a rooftop.
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
If you look at the bullet entry, if it's an entry from the front, and you put your finger on your neck, like right around the place where he got shot, okay, and you put the back of your finger where the neck is, okay, you'll see that it's actually a little bit higher than where the actually entry wound is. So that means someone would have to be lower than him to shoot him, which I don't believe happens.
I understand what you're saying. Here's the problem. We can't, because of the slow frame rate of the camera, we can't actually be certain where the shockwave originates from. We have to remember that it's undulating in many directions at not simultaneously. But there is a definite pattern that it goes from high to low and from back to front, right? And so that's what the pattern seems to be. We can't determine it. And so I submit that the best explanation for the shockwave that's going back and downwards and then expanding back to the front is because a bullet is coming down into the neck in a downward direction that gets deflected down into the chest cavity. That's carrying the shockwave first out the back of the neck, then undulating down the back, and then reverberating back to the front and up.
Yeah, I think the only place we disagree, Sam, is you believe the body is what caused the back of the shirt on the bottom, like lower than that neckline. You believe it's the body that's creating that shockwave, and I believe
the body doesn't create it. The bullet creates the shockwave. The body is being expanded by hydrostatic pressure, imparted by the kinetic energy of the bullet.
But his back moves first 2 times. His back moves first up top, and the puffing.
Yes, and then it undulates downward. Right. So yeah, we're saying the same thing. So I don't understand where the disagreement is. It starts at the top back of the neck and then goes downward.
So why wouldn't that be a shot from the back then?
For all the reasons we just said. Because when you shoot ballistics, Joe, you get the big blowout. And Blake's right, you do have this little bit of back blow in the front, but you get the big blowout in the back along the direction of exit, right?
Right, which to me I think is his
which
neck.
means the bullet coming from the front and going towards the back. Yeah. Now, here, I'll tell you another piece of evidence.
Hold on, let me just make a point before you do.
Yeah.
To me, the gel is an example of what happens to the body, not just the shockwave, right? In the body, right, you see his neck puff up in the front, not in the back.
It actually expands, I think, at 360 degrees. If you look at different angles, the whole thing gets wider. Like,
I'll look again.
Yeah.
But if you look at the angle of the entry and where the chain would have been that broke, if it's from the back, it makes more sense someone behind him in that tunnel shoots, or otherwise it would have to be someone in the audience on the ground level of the pit that shoots, right? It's only one of the.
I'm still, like I said, I haven't taken a hard position. This is my hypothesis, so could be. Here's the other reason why I think the bullet is traveling front to back. If you look at the camera angle that's straight to Charlie's left, where we see that wonderful view of the chain whipping around and then dangling down towards the ground. If you look at that camera view, and you go frame by frame by frame for several consecutive frames, I don't know how many, more than a dozen. Charlie's head and body are consistently moving backwards, and there's double exposures from frame to frame to frame, so you can see, with the double exposure and motion blur, that his body and head and everything is consistently moving backwards, frame by frame by frame by frame for several frames, like perhaps dozens of frames. It's consistently moving backwards. So that to me tells me that the momentum of the impact is carrying him backwards, which suggests a shot from the front. This is why it goes in. You see the shockwave first erupt out the back and then reverberate back to the front.
Okay. Yeah,
we've covered this topic. We got a lot of hands. A lot of people want to jump up in here. we can talk about bullets shooting sideways all day long, but let's throw some hands up in here. Joey, we're going to bring you up next. And let's jump over. So if you guys have been up here, Jonah, you got a question? If not, I got 500 hands that want to come up here, so I'm going to cycle through some people. Go ahead, Joey. What's up, brother? Or what about Josh? Josh, jump in here. Or John, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, my question is, I hear the word Jews used so much that I'm just wondering, like, how you differentiate between, say, employees of intelligence agencies, active duty intelligence soldiers, versus using like stereotype terminology. At like what point do you realize, okay, I'm making bigoted statements, generalizations, versus I'm actually an investigative journalist documenting espionage? What's the silver lining of that conundrum?
Okay, John, if they're Jewish, you can't fucking trust them, right? So like, if they're Jewish, doesn't matter what organization, what entity, what government organization, it's just, you're a Jew, I don't trust you. So like, we just start there. Everything you say, I think is a lie, and I don't trust you. I don't know how else to better say it. It's just, they're just Jews. It's just that. It doesn't get Jews. They're just untrustworthy. They're stinky. They're smelly. They're kind of fucking ugly. And that's just how they are. They're inbreds. I don't know how else to explain it. Ian, you want to jump in on that?
Yeah, but Ryan, let's take that's a quote unquote a lower IQ take, and that's not a pejorative. It's just being descriptive. Like that's sort of a low hanging fruit take. Let's take a higher road take, the Cyanine. Some of you know about the Cyanine, which is basically a worldwide Mossad intelligence program that recruits rank and file, regular, everyday, normal Jews around the world to aid Israel and Mossad and Israeli intelligence in carrying out their operations. Okay, and this comprises perhaps tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of rank and file Jews around the world who are on lists and who are enlisted to help the Mossad carry out their operations. And this is well documented. You can get online. You can read about it. You can read about it in Ronan Bergman's Rise and Kill First, I believe. I think that's one of the books. The other book is Victor Ostrovsky's The Other Side of Deception. And by way of deception, he wrote 2 books about it. He's given lectures about it. We know the Cyanine are a real thing. So just off the top of the head, we know that there are rank and file Jews in law enforcement, in the medical industry, in banking.
My dad's Mossad and he never told me.
That aid Israel in carrying out these operations. There's an interesting statistic that Victor Ostrovsky, who himself is a Jew, former member of the Mossad, tells about the Cyanine. He says, of all the Jews that the Mossad approaches to become a Cyanine, that's the singular, to become a Cyanine, he says only about 30% of Jews say yes. 70% say no. He says, but none of them will tattle. So like I'm a Jew, Israeli intelligence comes to me and says, hey, we see that you're a doctor. Would you be willing to provide emergency services if one of our agents, here or whatever? And the doctor, 30% chance he might say yes. 70% chance he might say no. What if he says no? Well, then he also keeps his mouth shut, so he doesn't tattle. He doesn't say, hey, I tried to get this foreign intelligence service trying to recruit me. That doesn't happen, right? So Ostrovsky tells us, he's like, even for the Jews who don't say yes, they also don't tattle. So until the Jewish community gets real about this and begins holding themselves accountable, they've simply forced our hand. To Ryan's point, like, how do we trust them? Hard to know who to trust when there's tens or hundreds of thousands of them that keep silent about Israeli intelligence penetration of our institutions in our countries.
Yep. Thanks, Sam. I see you guys give the high IQ shit. I'm just over here like, fuck it, they're Jewish. I don't trust them.
We gotta have both, Brian. We gotta have both.
Right on, brother. Right on, my man. Hopefully they answer your question, John. Let's jump over to Beck. Did you have something you wanted to say?
Wait, do you also think Indians are stinky, smelly scammers, or is it just Jews?
Right on,
what about Saudis?
Hopefully they answer your question, John. Let's jump over to Beck. Did you have something you wanted to say?
Wait, did you also? We lost him. He dropped off.
What's up, everybody? What's up, Mace? Long time. Just wanted to say, you don't gotta be an expert. You don't gotta be enough. the whole thing stinks from left to right, from any angle. From a month plus later, if you can't see it, I don't know, but it's not what they're telling us. That was a hit. And
Beck, is this Beck speaking?
yeah,
Beck, do you know that you're basically like a porn addict, according to Blake Neff? If you're asking questions and obsessed with this, that you're basically like a porn addict. Did you know that? Did you hear that clip from 2 days ago?
no, I didn't, brother. I've been on the front lines of podcasts, but there were certain things I didn't agree with about her, but I didn't agree with what happened to him. It was an attack on the First Amendment, period, and it's an attack on everybody, whether you agree with it or not.
They kicked
It was the
me.
one thing I didn't agree with, especially when it came to my faith. But I still agreed with his right to say it. That was an attack on every American, whether they realize it or not.
I mean, besides of all the Jews, the Jews are approaches to outside.
If you wanted to add something to
Yeah, I just throw a little bit of, and I have to say, Ryan, not sure if you remember the Dave Chappelle skit from the Chappelle Show back in the day with Clayton Bigsby. He says, "I don't like them and they stink," referring ironically to black people. And for those that haven't seen the skit, it's Dave Chappelle, who is a black white supremacist who's blind and doesn't realize that that's what he is. When you said that, I found myself laughing, thinking back to that scene. But I had that as a little bit of levity before, maybe being a little bit more serious or sincere. And look, the challenge with this issue is that it's almost like trying to deal with an individual who is anorexic. And I say that because if you go up to somebody that you hear about that is dealing with that mental illness, it's going to be an uncomfortable conversation. You're probably going to hurt the person's feelings. And unfortunately, Jews in the West are going to have to come to grips with the fact that their feelings are going to have to be heard if they believe that their people, their interests, or the nation of Israel has not ever done anything wrong. They're going to have to accept that. And the challenge is, especially on this topic, that the West has basically been told for a long time that they are, in many ways, the villains, right? You've got white supremacy, it's the big bad thing. White privilege, that was a big thing. Whites in the slave trade, that was a thing. I know all of these things because I've been told that I should be ashamed of all of these things for a long time. And then you start to look around and I recognize, well, some of those things actually are real. And in fact, if I look up, for example, privilege, it seems like there's a different group that is privileged. It seems like there's a different group that believes in supremacy, so much so that they feel entitled to share it. They religiously will even suggest that they are chosen. It's not what my religion says. My religion says that all good people are going to be treated well and go to heaven. Theirs says they are chosen and I am an animal. That's weird. You might say that that is supremacy. We can then go into the slave trade. Well, that's another conversation we could have. It also perhaps has roots in many groups, not just those that are white. And I say this because at the same time, the whites have been shaming about their past, well, another group has been constantly told their entire life.
Crazy people. Go to John for Congress.
That's the building of our country right there, Mr. Cunning.
How much was it? How much was it?
They gave it to me.
So you're not gonna tell me how much was it?
They gave it to me.
I don't believe you.
Why?
How are they gonna give you something like that?
They gave it to me. I had it.
How much was it? How much was it? Can y'all please
your kids, and your rent is paid for. That's the delta.
Is that Mark?
Yeah, like there's stuff that they can do. It's just them choosing to do it. One of my best friends, her husband, retired from the NBA, and no.
Oh.
I forgot the name. I was good. Have you gone under a different name, Toast?
No, never.
You're not James Bradley, are you?
Nope.
And not Beaver. Well,
Nope.
not technically.
Not at all.
Somebody told me about you one night. I forgot who it was though. They were like, "You know this guy Chose?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "Oh my God, you guys are like the fucking same." He's like, "You guys should meet." I think maybe it was a Brock. I don't know.
I think I've met Brock.
Yeah.
Or Big Rock. The only reason I'm here is because of Beatmon. That's it.
So this is James or Beaver, one of the two. Who, Toast? Yeah.
I just denied it. It doesn't count. Like, why would I lie about that?
No, I know who Toast is. Toast isn't. Yeah. He's definitely not Beaver. He's definitely. I don't know who the James would be though. I've known. No, I've known Toast for a while. You did go under one other account. What was it, Toast?
I did not. No, you guys are mistaken. I did not go under. Well, I've had a few different accounts, but it's always been Toast though.
Okay. It's slightly different cadence. Very similar though.
This happens all the time. People get confused for other users on here.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
Yeah, no, Toast has been he's been pretty cool. I've never had a problem with him. We usually have really good philosophical conversations.
And I'm consistent. Yeah, I'm not like, I never play like someone else or I don't troll or whatever the fuck.
Jeez, that was a roller coaster.
Yeah, a giant waste of time. Yeah, absolutely.
So I have like this thing that's on my neck, and it started just appeared there overnight, like 2 days ago, and it feels like a pimple, but it's on my neck, and I mean, like when I touch it, it hurts. What the heck?
So this is likely a hickey from a small pimple, maybe a mole.
No, because it appeared overnight.
You got a cyst.
And I'm like, what the heck?
You got a bed bug.
No, I don't have bed bugs. I might have begonia bugs.
You got a cyst. Don't fuck with it. Just put a warm compress on it or ice it.
It's super small, like a pimple would be. Like those sticker pimples, like the sticker pimples where like you could put a sticker over a pimple on your face. Like it would fit under it.
So just watch it. I feel like you're over there poking it and pushing it. Just leave it alone. Just watch it.
Exactly.
I recommend popping everything, but that's okay. I'm kidding. Congressman, how are you going to overhaul this health care system?
Overhaul it? I'll tell you, the amount of money we spend, we can have free federal gymnasiums throughout the whole country, 3,000 gyms, so people can start going to the gym and doing cardio every day, breaking a sweat. I don't know how you overhaul it because.
Do you think that part of aerobic exercise is down? Aerobic exercise rates are down.
It's gotta be.
With the sex being down.
Probably. Yeah, probably. I mean, if you've ever worked out and had sex that same day versus like not working out for a day or two and then having sex, you see how much lower your testosterone level is in the act. So,
Good point.
yeah. Because you going to the gym raises your testosterone level by like hundreds and hundreds of percent. So you just can't match the gym in terms of even antidepressant response. It's just nothing like it. I don't know how you fix the system though because it's so fucking expensive. And it's like the whole economy is just like healthcare. So if we're spending $4 trillion a year and your experience sucks, because generally it's not that great. Nurses suck, doctors really suck, and the health outcome for what you're supposedly getting is just like barely there. So how the fuck is it $4 trillion a year to fund all that? The system's like just geared towards doctors and lawyers to make as much as possible annually.
I think that if we handed out free yoga pants to women, heterosexual women, that would draw them into the gym perhaps, and then the men would be more inclined to go to the gym than don't already go.
I don't know how people don't go. It's like something to do. It's somewhere to go. It's a place to be seen. It's a place to like change your mood. It's a place to be social. And people who don't go and they just sit at home and they're not even doing yoga at home, it's just like how do you like feel how do you not feel pain in your body? Like I have to stretch, I have to rotate, I have to crack, I have to lift, I have to cardio. Like otherwise I feel like I'm dying and entropy is setting in.
It is interesting.
What up, faggot? Faggot! Okay. What are you doing? I'm watching Bill Maher and Gutfeld. They're on the show together right now. Bill Maher and who? Gutfeld. I don't know who that is.
That would be really good to see. Where are you watching that?
Yeah. It's I went on YouTube. I'm streaming it, so it's on the. Hold on. It is. Yeah, Bill Maher's late night show. So it's Bill Maher and.
Oh, very cool.
Do you see it?
Yeah, I'll find it here.
Yeah. It's like interesting. So they're like smoking cigars and drinking.
Dude, Gutfeld's on tour right now, man. He's killing the ratings and he's going all over to these different people too.
Is it
like they're trying to get the sauce from him. Like, what makes this show so good?
Serendipity, you don't know who Gutfeld is?
She's in love with Hannity.
Oh.
You know who I can't stand them? And for no reason is Laura Ingraham.
I can't either. Okay.
Is it her face, her mouth? Something is.
Sound of her voice.
Yeah, man, and she acts like she doesn't know what's going on.
Her shit is not good.
I don't think so either. Yeah, I don't think so either, Anne. Something is off.
Yeah, no, she's not. It like stuff. I'm Joel. Yeah. Y'all have to let Abdul sing for a minute.
I do. Oh, he sings about sexual things.
What? Yes. I don't think so. I think you're making that up. Wow.
Abdul, who are you?
I agree with you, Nick, about Laura Ingraham. She's boring. Like, oh, Abdul. All right, Abdul, you gotta go back to it. About to lose it. You're not singing like creepy, pervy songs to us, right?
He is.
Are you
You didn't know
We
that.
love Abdul.
So, what do you think he's singing to you? Hello?
Indian proverbs.
So, do I have to?
I'm trying so hard not to laugh too. It's so funny.
What? I think he's singing sweet Indian proverbs. Have a good day, everybody. I love you. You're so beautiful. You know, that kind of thing.
No, baby.
I caught the tail end of a movie today, and movies generally don't surprise me anymore. They're just predictable, and so it's frustrating. I lose interest fast. So the good thing is, one, I missed the first half of the movie, and two, there was a plot twist, and the plot twist had me, what? I'll tell you, anyone's interested, it was called Remember. Have you ever seen it? It was written by Benjamin August. It has Christopher Plummer in it, Bruno Gans, and anyway, it's about a elderly Holocaust survivor with dementia who goes into a nursing home, and he ends up being roommates with another Holocaust survivor, which was so rare. And so the guy has dementia, but he set out, the two of them, realized that the last guy that killed their families was never caught. And because they were in Auschwitz, right? And so the one guy convinced the other guy to go and find him, the Nazi war criminal, and kill him for killing their families, because they didn't want him to go through the whole court process and everything else. And so that's all I'm going to tell you, but it was great. It was a good movie. I thought so.
I think I saw that movie. What was the year? Do you remember the year it came out?
2015.
Oh, no, I didn't see it. I haven't seen the name of it.
Did you ever see the movie Life of a Begonia?
No, I haven't seen that yet. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I saw it on Public Access, WTTW. It's about this girl who knows everything, and she's in love with begonias, but the world rejects her view of reality. And as a result, the begonias ultimately grow into weeds and take over the whole house and make her a prisoner. And then the begonias become alive, and the begonias take over the government. And we ultimately all end up having to serve the begonias as slaves. And we all have to eat begonias for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and make begonia milk out of begonias just to survive.
Not begonia milk. That's hilarious. I thought you were talking about the new movie Begonia. The one. There's a new movie that came out that's called Kitover too.
Looks like it might be a good movie.
Nick, did you find it? Tyler.
He's busy looking.
How do you know what he's doing?
Don't be doxing him.
How? That's not even his real name.
Don't be doxing him.
I can't. I don't know his real name.
His name is Nick.
Well, you're doxing him now.
And I'm not. His name.
That's his
photo's name.
It is the trapdoor. Stop talking about it.
I ain't some hot tea. Ain't some hot tea will make me fall asleep.
That sounds really nice. I got a coffee, a new coffee by Coffee House. Coffee House. I don't know how to say it, but it's Haus.
Hoss, baby, Hoss.
Oh, sorry. And so, by Coffee House, and it is called Strawberry something. And, yeah, I didn't like it.
You didn't like it? I don't like fruit coffee.
Yes.
Fruit doesn't belong in your coffee.
Thank you. I just wanted, they have, like, all of these, like, crazy names. And, like, I just like the regular freaking types. Like,
But I will tell you, my Strawberry Fields tea.
Oh, tea, yes. Ooh.
Muy perfecto. It's so good. It's ranking right up there.
It has hibiscus in it, though. I think that's one of the reasons why I like it so much.
You put honey in your tea?
Some of them I do, but not all of them. Like, I don't usually have to put anything in the hibiscus. The strawberry doesn't really need it either. I have to pack my stuff tomorrow. I'm glad I took 2 days off.
Are you ladies still talking about me in the back channel? About, how wonderful I am or anything like that? Just check.
Yeah,
I just messaged Bima about you. We're over here shooting daggers at Daisy.
Well, I'm definitely shooting my shot, but...
What did I do?
Did you respond?
What did I do? I was just researching toast. I'm sorry. Well, I found some stuff. What happened? Did I do something wrong?
No. Oh, no, you want to take it slow. That's fine. You don't have to climb into... So what we'll do is we'll put 2 sleeping bags.
Oh,
so like instead of 1 sleeping bag, we can be near each other, but there's no, contact, right?
Yeah. I'm a little bit slow.
Yeah, and that way we have our own sleep hygiene stuff, whatever that may be, and we can get to know each other gradually, you know.
Well, yeah, that's normal. That's normal. It's so sweet too.
Thanks.
Dr.
Something.
Dr. Jordan, what do you think about a girl that doesn't brush her teeth before she goes to bed?
What did you say? What did you say, John?
I said, what do you think about a girl that doesn't brush her teeth before she goes to bed?
Oh, stop.
I mean, as long as she brushes her teeth in the morning, that's fine.
What the
That's
fuck?
Nonstop.
That's when the bacterial count is high.
Yeah, all night long. That's why you brush your teeth before you go to sleep.
No, she literally just sent me a link on her toothpaste today. Sorry.
Isn't that ironic?
Oh, yeah, irony.
We're friends.
How do you consciously and intellectually not brush your teeth before you go to bed?
I think you're projecting this onto somebody else.
This isn't projection. This is just basic common sense. I hate to break the news to you.
What?
Like Serenity, who's spoken for, Daisy has this southern drawl, if you will. It just entices me. It's like it changes my brain chemistry when I hear it.
So we'll just see, I don't want to lose you as a friend, so just take it easy.
One sleeping bag at a time, Dr. Jordan.
What did he say? I think I need to hear.
He said one sleeping bag at a time.
Yeah, I am maniacal about brushing my teeth and flossing.
I like this girl that I'm seeing, but I'm repulsed that she doesn't brush her teeth before she goes to
you're
bed.
projecting. So why does she not brush her teeth if she has bad breath?
I think it's stupidity. That's the truth. Stupid people would not vote. They're 24.
Oh yeah, she's not worried about anything yet.
How do you go to sleep at night and then wake up and you got like chalk butter in your mouth and you're like, oh, I guess it's time to brush my teeth now. It's like, stupid. You're supposed to brush your teeth before you go to sleep.
Wait, you're seeing a 24-year-old?
I'm dating. Well, I don't know if I'm dating, but I'm seeing a 24-year-old.
Aren't you like 40?
I'm 42. Yeah, she's a nurse.
Like, what do you guys have in common?
Well, I'm a far right conservative. She's a far left liberal. So together, she's the left wing. I'm the right wing, and together we make the Dow.
Oh my gosh.
Let me
There
ask
are
Daisy.
so many things wrong with us.
Let me ask Daisy, just so I have witnesses. Not that I need witnesses, but what are some of the things that you are looking for? Like, what are your what do they call it? Your
Non-negotiables?
Yeah, exactly. Your deal breakers.
I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I mean, I think that the main thing I know that I can't handle is a bad temper. I can't handle that. And I really have to think about that. That's something I haven't thought of in a long time.
Do you think I have a bad temper?
No. I'm just saying it's something in general that I know I can't handle a bad temper.
Can you handle a funny Jewish man who smells really nice?
Yeah, sure.
Really
I
nice.
can. Yeah. Don't worry. I mean,
Wait, Dr. Jordan, you're not a Mossad agent, are you?
Not a what?
I heard this conspiracy theory on X today that there's 100,000 like recruited Mossad agents throughout the world. Like,
I thought you said misogynist. Well, I'm probably somewhere between a misogynist and a Mossad agent. They're probably one and the same. I'm kidding, but
yeah, I was in an X space.
Said you smell good. What do you wear?
well, I don't really have. I mean, I just get that kind of feedback. I don't necessarily wear fragrances because I think that like it masks the natural kind of like a healthy
How much is it?
pheromone, if you will, right?
How much is it?
So sometimes I'll wear
So you're not going to tell me how much?
rarely. Because like when I smell them, when someone walks by and they have like a musky cologne, I'm like, that's weird. On a guy. But I mean, if Daisy wants me to wear something in particular, I'm happy to get on Amazon right now. And I aim to please, basically.
Radical honesty is another non-negotiable. I can't handle liars.
Well, I'm pathologically honest.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the same as radical honesty, but close.
Well, honesty will do. Not lying would be great. I haven't thought about it, but that's a good thing for me to think about and write about tomorrow during my break. To have it written down, you know?
I mean, for example, when you hear my voice, does that just change your brain chemistry? Do you spend days, like when you wake up, am I like the second, third, or fourth thought? Or, I mean, where do I kind of fall out in the thought series?
I'm not sure. Number one.
I mean, come on, you don't have to flatter me. If I'm 2 or 3, that's fine.
Well, I'm not repulsed by you, and I enjoy when you're in the room.
Oh, god damn, that's good. Okay, good.
That's saying a lot for me.
That's really nice of you to say. And while I respect the congressman, I tend to, I'm not out chasing people. I'm not chasing age gaps. I'm chasing someone who I can have, deep conversations with, be emotionally vulnerable, dance with, hold hands, be affectionate, laugh at romantic comedies, listen to oldies, these kinds of things.
Yeah. Well, it happens all the time. I remember when I was 24 being asked out by 42-year-old men. There was like a thing where there was a lot of it happening at church, and I just couldn't do it. But I know people who did, and they made very good decisions for themselves by doing that because there was a maturity level there that the 24 to 30-year-olds didn't have. So at this age, I'm a lot older now. I keep thinking I'm still 24 or 32, but at this age, it's just a lot simpler to break it down, I'm not making sense because I'm exhausted, but I hope that makes some sense. There's nothing wrong with going out with a 24-year-old.
No, it does. I was going to comment, but I can't get the flashlight off on my phone, so I'm at the gym, and I look like a fucking special investigator. So bear with me. Yeah, no, absolutely. I have nothing in common with these youngins. Even when they look like, these, even when they're deemed aesthetically appealing, nothing in common. Turn off.
See, Dr. Jordan, Dr. Jordan, you have Trump derangement syndrome because you're a liberal Democrat. But see, if you were to present yourself as being an ultra MAGA man, subconsciously and psychologically, a woman is attracted to that strength of character. And so all I'm trying to tell you is, Dr. Jordan, is conceal yourself in a pattern which is unfamiliar to you, and you will be amazed. It's like George in Seinfeld when he's like, "That's it, Jerry. I'm doing everything opposite from now on. My name is George. I live with my mother." Try that. But pretend you're MAGA. Get a MAGA hat, and you'll be amazed. Women will, because you got to understand, it's like just walk through the mall with a MAGA hat. This is an experiment. And women will literally look at you because you are signaling strength in a way. This is all just like animalistic, reptile psychology. And I can tell you from experience because I have worn a MAGA hat to Republican events, and women literally, they're just like, I don't know how to tell you this, Dr. Jordan, but women are easily fooled by exterior presentation. And, just give it a shot, Dr. Jordan. You might get what you're looking for.
Well, that wouldn't work with me, but that is a good strategy.
She's a liberal.
Daisy and I are going to spend time hiking. We're going to be hiking.
Oh, God,
nothing rustic. Nothing rustic that requires hiking boots. I've left the Alaska wilderness years ago. I'm talking about like walking around a mall, perhaps, or a pathway, a sidewalk, holding hands.
So, are you not gonna take John's advice?
No, I'm not like. Hey, young women are throwing themselves at me often. I just have nothing in common with them. I have nothing in common.
Who said anything about young women?
John was talking about the 24-year-old that he was dating.
Wait, John's dating a 24-year-old? John, do you have a girlfriend?
I don't know if I wouldn't call her a girlfriend. She told me she's not just a liberal, she's a hardcore leftist. But and she knows I'm running as a MAGA, congressional candidate. And she's like, I can never introduce you to my friends, but you're my lover. That's what she texted me. She's like, hi lover, you're my lover. I'm like, oh great, I'm her lover.
This is Dr. Hoffman and I recorded this earlier today, Daisy. This was I helped him record this, so this is him. We wrote this for you.
Can I offer you a penny for your thoughts? As a matter of fact, how about three? One penny for you, one penny for me, and one penny for our minds engaged, not so sexually, getting intimately closer as we approach the climactic altitude of monumental, sensational conversation, because I'm trying to get to know everything about you from the neck up. So, these are not your typical sexual political pros. I'm trying to close the door on an all too familiar freaky foreplay game with which most people have chose to approach you. While they're trying to get deeply embedded in the fine fibers of your bed sheets, I'm trying to find and define the fibers with which your mind speaks. I want to engage you. I want to engage you by putting a 2-carat solitaire diamond on your mind and marrying your every thought. I want to like to get an oral fix from each orifice and taste your passionate imagination. I'd rather be naked and exposed, holding you as we're lying in your crime rock and fighting and describing the tough times you had in life and how you don't know if you can keep a relationship long enough to be somebody's wife. I want to feel the heartbeat of all your inner rhythms as they lead me towards your orbit waterfalls of feminine thoughts, and I'll swim within them from backstrokes to brushstrokes. I'm penetrating every entrance to your mind, taking my time to find out everything about you. Did I ever tell you about how you fell asleep in my presence and your mere essence kept me up for hours as I cowered with this feeling of a sexually unadulterated mental connection? And as you laid by my side, I pushed my blinds aside and took the time in the moonlight of that night to count 72 eyelashes on the upper eyelid of your right eye.
No thanks, Bima. I would run away from this guy immediately if I was a woman. This guy's horribly annoying.
Your voice. So now I'm standing here ready to trade on the sexual acts that we perform from the chest that reform the very foundation and basis of our relationship. And I reiterate my opening statement, and I'll offer you another penny for your thoughts.
Exactly, a fucking penny. This guy is so cheap. A fucking penny? What a cheap bastard.
A penny for your thoughts, thoughts.
Listen, I'm just saying, if that's what love poetry is, count me out. Like, that is annoying. If I was a girl, I'd be like, that's the fucking poetry? Fuck you, Edward. Get the fuck out of my life.
You're trying to peacock over Dr. Jordan right now. It's not working. Go.
Well, the 24-year-old and I, we both said we had a soul connection. Oh, I see what you're saying. My bad, Dr. Jordan.
Your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberry. Dead.
Dr. Jordan, do you have any characteristics that might be unappealing to a woman? Like, do you like to eat garlic on Friday nights and then, talk a whole bunch and get close after all that garlic? Like, what is it about you that you think, some women have criticized you on. Is it anything personal hygiene related?
Who, me?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, is there anything with regards to personal hygiene that women have ever, commented on?
That I eat too fast.
And what happens if you eat too fast?
John, please don't put up something that says Callie and Dr. Because it'll scare me off. Please don't do that. Like, don't put up a recording. I beg of you.
No, I'm not.
I'll never beg of you, but for this, don't.
There was a time. I've always liked Dr. Jordan, and I've always liked talking to him about girls. That's my favorite topic to talk to about Dr. Jordan. But when
well, here's why. The owner of the Colts, the Indianapolis Colts, went to my alma mater. She's a Skidmore College.
He's obsessed with her. Walks around with her notepad.
Yes, it's so unusual. It's awkward, but it's like I'm trying to promote my school. If I were them, I would be posting. Maybe she doesn't give enough money to the school, but like if I were them, I would absolutely be promoting all the press she's getting.
Hey, did you guys ever see the awkward turtle? Did you ever do the awkward turtle?
I did not ever do the awkward turtle.
So you're supposed to take your left hand and put your forefinger straight out and your thumb like perpendicular. And then take your other hand and just line up your four fingers. So you have you're gonna do the same thing to both of your hands, right? Perpendicular, forefinger.
Brother, but I'm like the sad little sister that when I start to think that they're like thinking it's real, I jump in and I'm like, we're just kidding.
Is it Texas?
Okay, all right.
So, Congressman, what do you think that I should? Where do you think Daisy and I should go on our first dates?
I usually like to say I would love to take you for dinner. So, I mean, do you guys live in the same town?
Yes, we both live in whatchamacallit, in Fort, what's it called? What's that northern city in Indiana? Fort Wayne.
I don't know, just go out to a nice restaurant.
I'm a weirdo. I'm just, yeah.
Go for Greek food or go for pizza, anything.
What do you do, John? Tell me more about your experience. Like this 24-year-old woman, where do you take her?
I met her at this place called Jenny's Ice Cream, and our ice cream employee was trans, and he had huge breast implants, was extremely pale, had blonde hair, and I tell you, man, this trans guy must have given her some magic ice cream, because after that ice cream, she went back to my place, and I think she spent the night, or she, anyways, that ice cream had some magic kundalini in it.
You think she's I was thinking the same thing. I was like, wait a second. This better have been like 30 years ago. Okay. Can you confirm? Was this 30 years ago, or what was the time?
No, this is like 3 weeks ago. I was surprised too.
I knew it. I knew you were that type.
It's not a type.
What type? Oh, his type. He is a walking red flag, baby. If I met him in person, oh my God.
I'm not a walking red flag.
That's why we see right through you. That's why you gotta go for the 24-year-olds. You know it too. We see right through you.
I'm not going after 24-year-olds. I'm going after attractive women. The age is insignificant or irrelevant, because you could be 24 and still be not as good a shape as somebody who's 34 who's kept up their, workouts. So it's all relative.
Well, see, that's exactly my point. What makes you think that it's about physical appearance? Age, when they talk about marriage statistics, after you get over the 10-year mark, the chances of you getting a divorce just increase, like, it's significantly. And I think it starts after 3, is it 3 or 5? Let me get it. But the larger the age gap, the more things that you don't have in common, and the higher the likelihood of a divorce.
Well, we're not getting married. She has $100,000 in student loans that she has to contend with. I think I've been helping her significantly. Her license plate sticker was expired. Her City of Chicago sticker was expired. I paid for everything.
Oh, yeah, you're helping her out. You're helping the 20. Yeah. Does she know all of this? Like, as long as you're, like, upfront with her, like, hey, listen, I just want to F you. I have no intention on long-term anything.
Come on, I didn't say that. I said, you can just pay me in kisses. And she said, okay.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding either. But she is like really absent-minded, and she works as a nurse, and she has to drive freaking 2 hours a day for commuting, and her car could have been booted, and then then the tragic cycle begins. She owes the city $1,000 in parking tickets, and she could have been booted. It's like, how do you live your life so irresponsibly? Like, your whole life could just be shut off. Like, you fucked.
I mean, like, as long as she knows that you're like a temporary sugar daddy, just make sure that you communicate with her. That's all I'm asking.
Well, she's also a bisexual. She's a bisexual liberal. She's got other lovers. I'm just one of her retinue of lovers. But she's just a very nice person. She's a hardcore liberal. Like, she hates ICE. She hates Donald Trump. She hates everything that's happening. And I'm just like a positive, optimistic person. I've helped her significantly. Airport pickups, airport drop-offs. Like, I've bent over backwards to help this young lady. And, she too has bent over backwards.
And she,
I mean, let me speak in narcissism talk for a second. What is it about me that is just so appealing? What is it that is such a draw? I'm always trying to reflect and work on my strengths.
confidence, definitely. I think. I don't know if you asked me, but
Well, you're genuine, and I knew that from the very first time, like day one of Clubhouse.
Oh, that's sweet of you. Tell me more.
That's all I can say. I'm a very, like, when I give a compliment, like, I'm a very flowery writer, but when it comes to things like this, I'm just more, I guess.
What was it that, what came across? What were some things I said? Or
you didn't say anything. You just, I could just tell. I just get a sense of people. And I think it was like, I don't remember, it was one of those roast rooms, and someone was trying to roast you, and you wouldn't stand for it. You were like, I'm out of here. That, I do remember that very clearly. Don't ask why. I just
I appreciate it. It was beautiful.
What's the...
I remember when I came back, I was like, that's the guy that stood up to that. There were so many people that walked in, and then they were catchy. Some of them did become comedians, but they were always a lot of things.
Everything you say, I think it's a lie. And I don't trust you. I
don't like the rest too much. Do you remember, John, were you around then? Who could have did that?
They're smelly. They're kind of fucking ugly. And it's just how they are. They're immigrants. I don't know how to explain it.
Let me think back into my Rolodex of my memory.
Why would say that? That's a quote unquote a lore I keep saying, and that's not for Jordan, it's just being descriptive. Like that's sort of a
I just heard that word Rolodex not even 5 minutes ago. Not even 5 minutes ago I heard that word Rolodex. I haven't heard that word Rolodex for maybe 20 years before that.
I don't know where I came up with that. Oh gosh, I'm remembering, like he does these impressions of like everybody, and he's gotten to where he will post on Instagram. What is his name? His name is Matt Friend. That's his name. And he hung out with a guy who ended up being a really nice guy, and he's a voiceover artist, and was he would do Elton John songs, like he would pretend to be Elton John. Do you remember that? He was the nice one, like of the two. They kind of fooled each other.
I mean, there's the guy who was the impersonator of Donald Trump. I forget, was it Josh Rosen? But I don't think that's who you're thinking of.
No, it was somebody. It was either Matt Friend or it was somebody who was really fierce and didn't last very long before he was. I think he may have been kicked off.
Oh, I know who you're thinking of. You're thinking of that guy. You're thinking of the guy who was a dog trainer. What's his name? It'll come to me. Shit. It'll come to me. I texted with Roger,
an investigative journalist documenting espionage. What's the silver lining of that?
That's good. I
know. If they're Jewish, you can't fucking trust them, right? So if they're Jewish, doesn't matter what organization, what government organization, it's just, you're a Jew, I don't trust you. So like, we just start there. Everything you say, I think it's a lie. And I don't trust you. I don't know. It's just,
yo, fuck right, dude.
It's just like, look at Jews. They're untrustworthy, they're sneaky, they're smelly, they're
Roger's a bitch.
fucking ugly.
I'm not sure that's the PTO.
Do babies fuck? Do babies fuck ass? Have you guys ever like wondered?
Who is that?
Someone with a demon inside of their brain.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like two young kids having fun.
I talked to Roger Mayhem on here like a couple days ago, and
Me too.
then he deleted his account after that. I think he had an argument with Mountain, and he says, "I'm so done talking about politics. I don't even think about it anymore. I don't even care." And then he said something about a Xanax. And
Oh no.
Hey, Ulysses.
can't remember what else he said.
Hey, Tibbs.
How you doing?
Play at GTA.
Oh my goodness. Blast from the past.
I'm okay. You good?
I'm okay.
Good.
Yeah. The day is over, y'all.
That's all there is.
That's all that one is. Is that all there is to a fire? Right?
I bet he'll come back, but it'll have to be his idea.
Fire rises.
Is that all there is, my friends? Then let's keep dancing.
Ooh.
You sound like you're straight out of the 1940s. My favorite era of, I don't know, not really my favorite era, but one of my favorites. Of singing the Andrews Sisters and, yeah. Nice voice.
Oh, I'll keep it, but no, I would love to get voice lessons. I would like to get voice lessons. I can't sing for nothing.
Really?
See, Dr. Jordan, I hadn't been on Clubhouse long, but I could tell it was filled with a sea of just trash. You know, there's a lot of trash, and you kind of you rose to the top. So that should be a good compliment in itself.
That's sweet of you. Were you in my scapegoat strength rooms?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I was Detective Jack.
Oh, right. Scapegoat strength were the first rooms. Yeah, that's where I met Rowan, actually.
Rohan was a very angry man.
Rowan? Which Rowan?
Australian Rohan.
I don't get that vibe at all.
Oh, he said he really hates me.
Oh, I forgot who I was talking to.
Yeah, he really tried to, roast me one day. It's pretty funny.
All right, Bima, Daisy. Here's your daily affirmation prayer, okay?
Okay.
Bima, are you listening? I'm listening. I pray to have eyes to see the best in people, a heart that forgives the worst, a mind that forgives the bad, and a soul that never loses faith in God. There you go.
Thank you. Oh, man, that was beautiful.
Oh, I love that. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Every day, y'all. Eyes to see the best in people, a heart that forgives the worst, a mind that forgives the bad, and a soul that never loses faith in God. There you go.
That's so beautiful.
Wow, I got full body chills.
Me too. This is such a nice.
Always get better when you get smaller.
summer camp in Wisconsin, we used to go out on canoes and sit on the lake at dusk. Such a calm and tranquil. Now I live in a concrete jungle.
But you got modern plumbing. Do you take hot baths, Dr. Jordan?
I mean, I'm not one typically to bath. I've always been afraid of drowning in the bathtub. I'm kidding, but I typically take showers.
Oh, you should incorporate a hot bath into your life every week.
Oh, okay. I would do that.
Yeah, it's good for your skin, for your blood pressure, for everything. It's like.
I mean, it'd always also be nice to have a lady friend join me. It's kind of a scheduled weekly thing. I'm joking. I don't want to scare the ladies away. None of them are laughing right now.
Well, they're all sitting in the hot tub right now.
Dr. J, we all know what it's like to have the pleasure of.
Well, women like to bathe and bath. Women like to bath and bathe, right? It's an experience for the women, whereas men see it just as a utility to clean. Not all, but.
Do you know, whenever I have a stomach ache, I go into a hot bath, and I gotta tell you, I always feel better. Like, especially like that time of the month, I'll just crawl up in the bathtub, and I'll just fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wake up when the water gets cold. Yep. Right back on. Repeat. I'll be in that. I'll be drain that water and that hot back on. Yep. And it feels so good. It feels so good. It really does. Yeah, it's so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 2018, my love and I, we had this hot tub and a pool, and they were right next to each other. It was part of our apartment complex, but it was right outside of our apartment. So we always knew when they were cleaning it, and for some reason, it really wasn't utilized a lot, especially in the winter. It was like never, right? It was basically like locked up. You had to get a key. You had to have a key to get in. And we got into doing Wim Hof, but it was so much fun because we'd go out there and we would sit and we'd do, like 5 minutes into the cold, and then we jump into the hot tub and we just go like back and forth. It was, and oh my gosh, then sleep after. Ooh. Oh, that sounds like so much fun. So much fun. So much fun.
That's the great way. That's the good life. What happened? You guys don't have access anymore?
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. But the even crazier than that is, remember, this is like in the dead of winter. Our walks back.
Jesus.
Right, so I know it took a minute. Our walks back, you weren't cold at all. Like, there was no, because of the going back and forth, right? If the last thing you did was come out of the pool, then it was like just beautiful. And that's so crazy because your walks too, you know what I mean? So that's a sign. Cold plunges and hot tub, maybe. That sounds good. And you gotta remember to do Wim Hof because all of his breathing techniques and stuff, so much fun too.
Wim Hof, aka breathing.
I pulled up My Way, but can't find Engelbert Humperdinck singing it for the life of me, Dr. J. Are you sure?
I'm positive, yeah. Let me see if I can. Hold on one sec.
I have looked. But have you pulled it up yet, Serendipity and Bima and Seneca and John? Saint Frank did. Frank Sinatra.
One of his most famous songs. Well, it's not really a happy song. It's called what's his most famous song? Oh my God, it's slipping my mind. Hold on.
Are we gonna do this? But I just realized I've got to find the lyrics for Get the Nice to pick that. Hold on a second. Ultimate background. Those were fun. Okay. Did you hear that? I was playing it.
Yeah, but I don't know the words either. That whole time.
It'll come to you. Don't worry. It's not for that. That's not the reason. Okay, Dima, are you gonna sing too?
Yeah, I'll sing with you guys. Of course.
Seneca?
Okay.
I didn't have my YouTube pulled up. Okay.